Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Another History of the World. Today we're going to be talking about one of the greatest pirates of all time. 19th century China was patriarchal, and women generally lacked direct access to official and state power. Female social mobility occurred through marriage, and some were able to successfully use their marriages to gain power within the male-dominated bureaucracy. But these were mostly elite and socially connected women. But one woman, Chungsha, became the most successful pirate in history. At the peak of her reign, Chungsha's fleet was 4 times that of Blackbeard's, one of the most well-known pirates in Western history, and 2 times the total size of the Spanish Armada. So how did she achieve this? Even before Chungsha was able to yield so much regional power, Chinese pirates had been serving the King of Vietnam as privateers as a result of the instability caused by the Tay Rebellion. However, no single contender had come to dominance over each of the pirate groups. Chungsha was born in 1775, but not much is known about her early life, including her birth name. She became a well-known prostitute in the city of Canton in southeast China on a floating brothel. It's also unclear as to how she became married to the pirate Ching Shih. According to some, Ching Shih sent a raid and ordered them to plunder the brothel, asking them to capture Chungsha. Together, the couple grew their red flag fleet from 200 ships to 1,800 ships, including around 50,000 pirates. But 6 years after their marriage, Cheng Shih died, and Chungsha really began to command power with her adopted son's support, who would normally have inherited the fleet. Chungsha ran a tight ship. She formed an ad hoc government so that her pirates were bound to laws and taxes. Any plunder had to be presented to the fleet and registered, and whichever ship captured the loot was entitled to keep 20%, and the rest would go to a collective fund. Female prisoners who were considered to be ugly were released, and if a pirate wished to take a prisoner as his wife, he was bound to be faithful and to take care of her. Unfaithfulness and rape would result in capital punishment, but other offences might result in cutting off ears, flogging, quartering, and clapping in irons. Chungsha was called the Terror of South China. The fleet took over coastal villages in order to gain political and military control for mutual benefit, and so became the major economic source in the region on both land and sea. The fleet was ruthless and would punish those who resisted by nailing their feet to the ship's deck and beating them. As their power accrued, the fleet could attack other land garrisons for supplies as well. There are claims that Chungsha was also an opium smuggler, but what's for sure is that the fleet also raided Portuguese and British naval ships, because Chungsha's strict rules worked to unify her huge naval force. When it appeared Chungsha could not be defeated, the Qing Dynasty of China offered an amnesty to all pirates. Negotiations between Changpao, Chungsha's adopted son, and Zhang Bailing, the Chinese government representative, hit a deadlock. There was disagreement as to what would happen to the loot, and the Chinese government wanted the pirates to kneel before them. Chungsha took matters into her own hands and met with Zhang Bailing, unarmed and with 17 illiterate women and children. Eventually, Chungsha was allowed to keep the loot, and Zhang Bailing agreed to witness the marriage of Chungsha and Changpao, for which the two had to kneel in gratitude. Chungsha ended her career as a pirate there, but she had a son with Changpao, who also became a government official, and opened her own gambling house in Canton until she died in 1844. Chungsha's leadership techniques were simple but effective. She legitimized her rule through her personal relationships, carefully balanced the factions around her, and established her religious authority. She was a formidable woman, a savvy businessman, a capable military strategist, and gained a lot of power in a time when this was rare. Most interestingly, Chungsha was able to use marriage to transform the lives of men, not women.